Guess what? Mini eggs, Mr. Kipling. We're reading How Not to Die.
Yeah.
And the man's got all these unhealthy snacks. What did I come with? Strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And Starburst. And cookies. And Hennessy.
Wow. It's a Friday, man. That's an edge of a week.
Exactly. So you can't start digging the one up.
Alright, when are we recording, P?
We started recording.
Oh, we started. Alright, welcome, guys. So after a bit of a hiatus, shall we say, Fully Booked is back. So if you've been following, just to give you a brief rundown, we've this is now season 2. Season 1 was about attachment styles. It was brilliant. Go check it out. It's on SoundCloud. It's on iTunes. There's links out there. Ask a friend, tell a friend, ask a friend, tell a friend. All of that. We're on season 2 now. We're on episode 2. No, sorry, my apologies. Episode 4?
No, I think it's episode.
I think it's season 2.
Episode 2.
I think it's, okay, sorry, my bad. It's season 2, episode 2, part 1, and we're reading How Not to Die. Which, if you follow the first 3 parts, it's about kind of it's literally what it says on the tin. It's how not to die. It's how not to die from different types of diseases, heart disease, cancer, all the rest of it, or how to kind of prolong your life is how I like to see it, because everyone's gonna die. Studio based. You got Pox
In the building.
Don't be shy.
I'm not sure, I'm good.
The big man on campus.
That's good. French.
Myself, Mace, and as you can tell, it's a Friday evening.
Nice.
So yeah, we said let's have a toast, let's have a drink. So we've had a couple of drinks. So you might get the lighter side of us today. We got a special treat for you today, actually. So we're gonna go into part 2 of the book, which kind of focuses on what kind of foods to eat, which could help prolong your life on this earth. What's gonna make you healthier? What's gonna prevent you from getting these kind of chronic illnesses that many of our friends and foes sometimes get, people from family members. What's going to kind of help to prevent those kind of causes? So we're going to focus in on that, okay? And we're lucky enough, we actually are going to have a special guest for you who's going to join us within the next 5 minutes. Now, they were supposed to be in the studio with us today. Unfortunately, due to the abysmal weather conditions, they couldn't make it. They were coming from afar. So we're London based, they're not. So we've organised to get them in the studio over the phone. And we're going to try and call them in a sec, actually. And it's someone, I'm not sure if she's vegan or not. I'll let her introduce herself, because I don't know if she wants her name mentioned. But she loves the book. She's read the book, and we'll ask some questions. She'll give her opinions. And yeah, French or Pox, if you want to give her a call, and hopefully she'll be available on the other side of the line.
Cool.
Top up my Hennessy. Hey, how you doing? Hi. So you're live on there. I don't know if you want to actually reveal your name to the podcast people. If you want to go by a code name like James Bond, 007 or.
I am Laura. And it's Laura B.
Okay.
My Instagram is How Not to Die Book Club. My personal Instagram is Laura B Bumble.
Okay, fine. So that's Laura B. How Not to Die Book Club is her personal Instagram. And what was your other social?
Oh, Laura B Bumble.
Laura B Bumble. Okay, cool. So I think Pox has some questions for you about the book, which if you don't mind answering, we'll kind of get your opinions, and maybe you can feedback and give us some of the questions you might have for us as well.
Truth be told, they weren't necessarily questions about the book. It was about really kind of maybe anything you found easy, or any difficulties that you found with your diet as such. So I've recently become a vegetarian, and I won't say I've necessarily had problems in terms of finding food, but I have thought about potentially becoming a vegan, and I wanted to know whether you found it easy or difficult in actually finding foods in terms of shopping maybe.
Well, well done for being vegetarian. I've been vegetarian most of my life, and I've been vegan for the last year. And the transition, I've been transitioning probably for the last 2 years, because you can't get off cheese. Cheese is like the biggest thing. So I would suggest, if you're gonna go vegan, do it slowly. Don't do it all at once. cut things out gradually.
When you say, sorry, Laura, it's Mace butting in here. Sorry, you're going to find out from time to time. I'm very much like that. When you say go slowly and start slowly, how slow are we talking, and what kind of things do you introduce to your diet at first to help you kind of kickstart that movement? And just to go back one more thing as well, you said that you've been vegetarian most of your life. So I don't want to guess I'm saying your 20s maybe? Are you in your 20s?
I'm almost 30, I'm 29.
Okay, fine. And were you raised as a vegetarian, or was it a conscious decision you made when you could?
No, I was 7.
Okay.
Have you watched the film Babe?
Yes, Big in the City.
Yeah, I watched that when I was 7
Yeah.
and realised I was eating animals and didn't want to eat them.
Okay, excellent.
And then, obviously, being vegan, I then looked into the dairy industry, the egg industry. Didn't quite like what I saw, so I transitioned. It's a gradual process. It's different for everybody. Some people can just do it straight away, but I did find it difficult. So I did a week for a couple of years ago, but I struggled.
Okay.
I didn't even make it the whole 7 days. I think
What was calling out? What was your body calling out for?
Cheese.
Okay,
That's what I've had problems with.
that's what you've had problems with.
Yeah.
No, it's a big problem.
Yeah, I think most people do because it's addictive, and I think you need to get out of the cycle. But there are so many vegan cheese brands. Not all are good, but you can make vegan cheese at home.
Okay.
You can make it from cashews.
Yeah,
Is that something you do,
and
Laura?
carrot.
Is that something you do?
Pardon?
Is that something that you now
That's what
practice?
I do. Yeah.
Would you like to share the recipe?
Yeah. Do you know what? I'll tag you in some because there's some really good recipes out there that will help.
Okay.
So, like swapping milk out, so you can swap your milk for your dairy-free alternative. That's what I did first.
Yeah, we do that now. I think I personally have almond milk at the moment.
Yeah, it's the same with me.
Yeah. Eggs. Again, I did the egg thing. I'm not really that bothered by eggs anymore. It's mainly cheese that I still think of sometimes, but not as much.
Okay, for someone like myself, I mean, I like treating myself. So we've just actually come from Tesco or Sainsbury's, and I like to indulge in like some sweet stuff now and again. I'm gonna say, I know they're laughing in the background because
More now than again.
all right, but we'll go with now and again. And obviously, some of the ingredients obviously in there are not necessarily vegan. Where and how do you kind of like find, dare I say, alternatives that makes any sense? Because I love fruit and I eat fruit quite often. I have smoothies. Well, that counts, but I mean, I have smoothies and I do have fruit as well. But where would you find alternatives to maybe cut out the eggs and maybe one or two other products that may be in the
Animal.
Pastry, dare I say?
Okay, so pastry, you can actually get, like ready rolled pastry.
Yeah.
That's vegan.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Now, but what?
Yeah, so you can get, if you look up the term accidentally vegan products, there's loads of stuff that's not necessarily advertised as vegan, but doesn't actually have any animal protein in it or content or anything. So you can still have your pastries. Like you have to. I tend to make things from scratch at home.
See, but
You can't get croissants. I think you can get them in some places, but you can buy, which I've bought recently. You can buy the I can't remember what brands they are. But you get them in a little tube and you bake them at home, and they've got nothing in them either.
what about for
As far as I'm aware.
just to interject? What about for someone like P who doesn't like to cook himself? what are you trying to get across is what products
Did
can
you
he?
say for someone that doesn't like cooking?
Yeah,
Don't listen to you. That's a lie.
because basically we've just come out of supermarket. And he's picked up all the cakes that you don't have to make. You don't need ready-made pastry. He just wants instant satisfaction. So
Instant gratitude.
Okay.
is there anything that you would suggest that could be in the vegan aisle that would be still satisfying?
Well, see, this is one of the downfalls of being vegan is convenient food.
Yes.
So you can have dark chocolate, Skittles. I don't eat them, but you can get them. And I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of candy. I can't remember what it's called. You can get the vegan version of it. It's like what is it? like gummy bear sort of candy, like Haribo.
Yeah.
Sort of
Can I just run you through maybe the last few snacks I've had actually, and maybe whether you can find or tell me an alternative to them. All right. So I'm currently looking at. I've definitely had a lot of M&Ms over the past week or so.
Yeah,
But I'm
right here.
gonna give you a few more, and then maybe you can throw a few alternatives. I've definitely had angel cake, and they've got a new Wenzel's by my shop, so around the corner from where I live. So I've had a couple jam donuts. All right, so I'm looking for now alternatives to jam donuts.
Right, okay.
100%
Jam
M&Ms.
Jam donuts you can get from Co-op.
Okay.
Vegan.
Yeah, they are vegan. And I think the custard ones are as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cake. I'm not too sure about cake. I don't. Lola's cupcakes do a vegan range.
Okay. My office where I work, they've got a Lola's, so I'll look out for that for Pocker. I'll look out for
so that's
Pops.
for Lola's. And Miss Cupcakes, I think in Brixton,
Yeah.
is completely vegan, I think.
Look, are you London based or are you from out in the sticks somewhere?
I live in Medway now, but I used to live in Bromley.
Medway's in Kent, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know about Brixton, eh?
Yeah, well, I used to work in West Dulwich.
Oh,
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
just
cool.
Down the road. And what was the other thing? M&M's.
M&M's.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. When you find the alternative, let me know. I think I found chocolate-covered raisins or like chocolate-covered, like honeycomb, like you know that crunchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crunchy. Yeah, where did you
It's
find
not
those?
honey though. I don't know what it is. You can get them in the Co-op as well, actually.
A quick question that's just sprung to mind, Laura. Do you tend to find that vegan products, such as your sweet treats, tend to be more expensive than your everyday jam and custard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, unfortunately they are. But I suppose it is because like it's consumer demand, isn't it?
Yeah, of
So
course.
They probably hike the price up to see if people actually buy it, and then fingers crossed, people will buy it at that price, and then eventually it'll bring the price down.
Okay. Okay, Pops.
Fingers crossed.
I kind of think that's me in regards to
Okay.
questions.
I've got a question, Laura. Laura, how familiar are you with the How Not to Die book? I mean, I take it you've read it. Have you read through it a few times or once?
No, I've just read it the once.
Just
I mean,
the
I
once.
go back to it now and then.
Yeah.
If I have a thought in my head about, what was this? Like, if I'm talking to people or talking to my partner about it and I
Yeah.
need some evidence as to why he shouldn't be eating what he is, I'll go to the book.
Okay.
But generally, I've only just read it once.
Fine.
I mean, it is a lot to read, isn't it? There's a lot to take in, and I think if you
Right.
were to read it again, you'll just get new information from it.
Right, you're spot on.
I know there's some people on Instagram that have read it more than once.
Okay.
And yeah, I think so far on Instagram there seems to be a lot of praise for
The
it.
praise. Okay. Do you regularly read vegan books or books aimed at vegans?
This is the first book I've read on nutrition, and I've just finished the China study, which is similar.
Ah,
That was one of the books we was thinking about going. So it was either How Not to
Yeah,
Die
it's
or the
really
China
good.
Study.
Right, you lead me on to my next question. What was your thoughts on the How Not to Die book overall? I mean, we've come off the phone to you. We're gonna do our kind of book review. But what was your general thoughts in terms of how easy to comprehend it was? Your thoughts on the author's kind of points of view throughout the book, his kind of the findings are scientific, but what you thought just generally of the findings. If there's anything else you thought could have been included in the book, just a general impression of what you thought, a kind of review.
I found it quite easy to read, I think he's made it readable for people that don't know anything about science, which is myself. I mean, there is a lot to take in, but it's got subheadings, and it's got like little boxes of information, and it's not, and then he obviously part 1 and part 2, and part 2 is what you should be eating and how you should eat it.
And the quantities.
You know, the most bit that you kind of need to know, isn't it? Because there's no point having all this information and going, okay, what do I have for dinner?
Okay, fine.
It kind of tells you.
Did you find that part 2 of the book, like the kind of quantities of what to eat and kind of the kind of the goodness of what's in certain foods. Has that influenced you at all to change your diet further?
Yeah, it has. He talks about like making better choices, and I think my choices aren't always good, but I do think most of the time that I do tend to eat more healthily than I did a year ago.
Okay.
It's just kind of introducing like nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
Is a big thing that I never used to eat, or even eating more fruit. I've never really eaten fruit, but
Wow.
now I try and do smoothies. So I have smoothies in the morning.
But then you lose certain nutrients and the fibre and stuff like that in the rawness of the food.
Yeah. And it obviously I'm vegan from an ethical standpoint. The reading this book was to basically see if being vegan was healthy for me, because I didn't, I don't want to not be healthy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fueled my ethical beliefs a bit more now, because it's not nice to eat animals and it's also not healthy for you.
Yeah.
So I think he's done a good job.
Go on, sorry, continue, Laura.
Pardon?
Continue.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So in regards to actual health, have you noticed a difference since being an actual full-time vegan, so to speak?
Yes, definitely, 100%. I'm less bloated.
Yeah.
Completely. That's probably whenever people ask me this, I'm like, yeah, I'm never ever bloated.
Yeah.
I've probably taken 2 paracetamols in the last year, and that was because of a hangover.
Okay.
Vegans suffer hangover.
I thought you might have one ourselves.
This may sound like a silly question.
In the last year, I haven't had a cold. I get chills, very, a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't had a full-on cold for a whole year.
That's good.
I feel like I've got more energy.
Yeah.
I used to go to sleep quite early before, and I stay awake now.
So you can read more books.
So yeah, I really like. I want my hair and my nails as well.
Look more healthier.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Now it might have been like a silly question, but I was thinking in relation to alcohol. I mean, is there anything on that as such? I mean, it may be a really random question in terms of whether
Animal.
What is alcohol vegan?
Yeah, or we've.
Not all alcohol is vegan, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, cool.
Bloody, so you've really gone into depth.
This is something I personally got to tidy up, because it's a bit confusing. Because some wines are vegan, some wines aren't vegan, some wines are vegetarian.
Okay.
There is this website, again, I can send you the link.
Are you watchful?
That tells you. Pardon?
Are you watchful when you're drinking like different types of alcohol? Is that something that you're just quite casual about?
I'm quite casual at the moment. I'm going to try and tidy it up this year, though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's the wine. Because, wines have different names, and then you're having to Google it when you're in the restaurant, if you can drink it or not. I mean, it's just a long process. But I know that I can have Absolute Vodka is vegan, and Disaronno is vegan.
That's one of your favourites.
Good to know.
So those are two drinks I know I can have, but it's the wine, because wine is filtered through fish or eggs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Co-op are good at labelling their wine.
Okay.
They'll tell you if it's suitable.
Have you got shares in Co-op, Laura?
Well, I used to live around the corner from a co-op.
Oh, okay. Fair dues. I think that's pretty much it our side. Have you got any questions for us in terms of... Remember, we've read the book and we're at different stages of veganism. So Pocker is probably the most advanced, and French. They're probably kind of bordering vegetarian. And I'm definitely
I'm
flexi.
I'm flexi.
I'm vegetarian. I can definitely tell you that.
I don't know
veg.
if you've got any questions, suggestions, or anything else you wanted to say before we kind of wrap it up.
Okay, no, that's cool. So, what have I wrote down? So there was one question that I was going to ask that was just about convenience and about timing. Who was it that doesn't like cooking?
That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. You can ask the question anyway. All right, for the general public, but that's fine. It doesn't like cooking.
It's pots. Let's continue.
Because obviously having to cook from scratch, if you're plant-based, you're not going to go to the co-op and get your ready meal because it's not healthy. You are going to spend some time in the kitchen. So I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking, well, what's an extra 15 minutes? And an extra 15 minutes every day for a whole year is only 3 days. So would you be willing to spend an extra 3 days a year learning or prepping a more nutritious meal rather than spending weeks and months in the hospital because you've got cancer or heart disease or lung disease?
I'm glad you asked that question to the general public because that is the reason why I've made a decision to certainly go vegetarian, and I'm going step by step towards being vegan because I sat there and I thought about it. I mean, in that, well, my flexibility is not bad anyway, but I mean, as the years have gone by, I've become less flexible and able to do stuff anyway. Not that I'm an old man, but I want to kind of prevent any illness, and certainly when I'm trying to reach an old age. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of things I like to do. So 75/80, I want to be mobile. You know, so if being vegan or vegetarian is going to help, then that's the team I'm batting for.
Yes, sir. Is there any other questions you had for us, Laura? Is this Hennessy that we're drinking?
Oh, and there was because it goes on to being like the traffic light in part 2.
Yeah, in part 2, that's correct. Yeah.
So the World Health Organization has labelled processed meat as carcinogenic group 1, which is in the same group as tobacco. So tobacco obviously has labels on it. Do you think sausages and bacon should have health warnings on them?
100%. Sorry, I'll get French. Sorry, French to button.
No, if you want to answer, go ahead. Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well, to answer your question, yes, I do think they should have health warnings, especially from again, just reading the book and the amount of evidence and scientific journals that have been produced. I think that there's a lot of relevant evidence. And again, going back to all the cancers and all the health benefits that it would suppress if we did have those images of health warnings on the packages.
Laura, I counteract your question. What would that do for the agricultural industry in this country?
What if they had the health warnings on the sausages?
Yeah, I just think there's a wider picture that needs to be considered as to why certain things are done and not done in our society.
Yeah, it's money.
Wow.
They get too much money from the meat industry.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely. I think that's something else that we're going to be discussing a little bit later on in the rest of the podcast.
I think it does need to be discussed. And also, it's consumer demand as well. If people buying bacon and sausages, they're going to keep making them.
Of course.
If people make better choices and don't buy them, then they won't make them.
Yeah, no, spot on, Laura.
It's one of the reasons we wanted to bring more awareness to kind of veganism, vegetarianism via this book. I mean, on our podcast, we read a kind of host of books, and this is one of them that came up, and we just want to spread awareness. We're not trying to preach, but we just want to make people more aware, and I think that's why we wanted you on as well. Give people the information to make their own decisions. Hello?
Are you still with us?
So you went quiet then?
Sorry. Must be the reception in Kent.
So Laura, we would just like to say thank you for taking part. We're really grateful for you for taking our call and giving us your opinions and your information. In regards to all those links that you're referring to, if once we finish, we'll get back and we'll message back to back on the messages through Instagram, and we could possibly get those links and put them up on our podcast page as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
All right, brilliant.
It'll be nice to speak to you again in the near future, Laura. And obviously, due to the adverse weather, you couldn't be in the studio with us, but we definitely would love your opinion on kind of a future podcast that might interest you. But thanks a lot for obviously getting involved.
Well, thanks for letting me get involved.
Of course. All right, Laura.
All right, take care.
Okay then. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Yeah, it was interesting.
Excellent. I really So guys, remember you're listening to Fully Booked. On the socials, we're on the Instagram at full_e_booked. Subscribe to our podcast, please, guys. It's important to. It's not just important to us, but it's important to you. We're sharing information for your benefit. So that's on. We're on the iTunes app. If you've got if you've got an iPhone, an Apple device, there's a podcast app that comes already
Pre-something.
already on your device, and all you have to do is type in Fully Booked, and you can find us, subscribe. You get notified of all the latest episodes. We're on the SoundCloud as well, Facebook and Twitter as well. We're prevalent everywhere, so just look out for us. And as I said, Laura joined us, special guest. She's full-time vegan now. She has been for a year. Vegetarian since the age of 7 in her late 20s, and it was really interesting hearing from her. So what we're going to do for the rest of the episode, rest of the pod.
Before you move, before you move on, just to give a little shout out again to follow her at How Not to Die Book Club. That's her Instagram page.
On Instagram,
and she also had a personal one, but I haven't.
We'll post it when we come to kind of post stuff on the Instagram. We'll put the information down.
Yeah, sweet. Should we crack on?
Yeah.
I think Laura literally just touched on it briefly in regards to what I was going to first jump into. The first bit being the traffic light system, which is something that you're able to identify the healthiest options when you're out and about or shopping or anything like that. Then it also goes into the daily dozen checklist, which helps you incorporate foods that Dr. Gregor considers essential to an optimal diet. Now, referring back to one of our Instagram posts, I thought it would be quite a relevant question to the panel to kind of get the ball rolling. And the first quote, I think was on 292, was every time you put something in your mouth, it's a lost opportunity to put something even healthier in there. So that got me thinking, in regards to health versus taste factor, how do you moderate the two? That goes for either. So Mace, you want to kick that one off?
So in regards to health versus taste factor, how do I moderate?
Yeah, how do you moderate the two?
Between the two what?
Between health and taste. Like, if you're going for health or you're going for more of a taste. Like if it's healthy and tastes rubbish, but if it's tasty and unhealthy, how do you balance? What's your kind of ratio, so to speak?
Okay. The stage I'm at in my life now, I'm definitely. Pocker raised it actually when he was speaking. When he was on the phone to Laura, he raised and said, "I want to be in my 70s and 80s and not having to be looked after in a wheelchair, you know, fed through a straw, blah blah blah." The older I get, the more I realise it's important to be healthier. So when I was younger, when you're in your teens, I'm not gonna lie, I would go to your old fried chicken shop and wouldn't think nothing of it. Your metabolism is quick. You're burning off the energy very quickly. The older you get, your body slows down. You need to more exercise is important. Looking after is important, and if you kind of the way life works or the way you think life would and should work is that the older you get, you have the opportunity to make more health conscious decisions because you have the money available. Not all people do. That's granted, but you normally have better knowledge because the knowledge is out there if you want to search for it. There's normally people around you. Everyone's got a personal trainer friend, some kind of health guru around them, or on the internet, or someone plugging something. There's Instagram. There's so many social platforms at the moment. So the knowledge is out there, and you kind of start to do a little bit of research in your spare time and start to realize what foods can do what for you and what foods will prevent you from remaining healthy. I'm quite fortunate in that, like, my parents, they're both quite slim. So I've got naturally my metabolism is quite fast. I'm a very slim guy, so I'm fortunate in that sense. In that I think in one of our previous pods on this book, there was a test you can run. I think it was with beetroot to see how quickly it passed through the body.
Yeah. I
actually ate something else. I didn't eat beetroot. I ate something like cranberries or red currants, a ton of them. And my body didn't agree with it, but it passed through very quickly. I'm not going to say what it looked like, but it passed through very quickly. It was a red storm.
Yeah.
But it passed through, and I realised my metabolism was really, really good. So I would say yes. I don't really eat from your kind of fried chicken shop and your doner kebab shop. I can't remember last time I had a doner kebab and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I am I do monitor it, and I do make conscious decisions to stay clear of foods which I know would not be very good for my body. I'm not kind of, in terms of getting to veganism or being a vegetarian, no, I'm not there. As I pointed out, I'm probably at the flexitarian stage, but I've incorporated a lot more seafood into my diet and a lot more white meat. I went for last Friday actually. I went for a meal with a couple of good friends of mine after work, and we decided to stop off at a well-known burger joint. And I got a burger, and immediately after I ate the burger, because I hadn't had one in so long, I started to feel really, really ill. Like my stomach was starting to bubble up, and as soon as I think I went out after somewhere, like to my friend's place or something, and I just asked for a peppermint tea just to settle my stomach. And that hasn't happened to me before. Like when I used to eat red meat regularly, that kind of thing wouldn't happen. It's my body telling me, A, I'm no longer used to this, and B, it doesn't agree. It doesn't agree with you. So that's what I would say on your question. What's your thoughts? I mean, I know you're kind of a flexi as well.
I'm definitely more flexitarian. I would definitely. I'm not gonna say I've totally stopped eating all meat. My fish intake has definitely increased. But
is that conscious, or is it just you like the taste of seafood and fish?
I think it's consciously. I've definitely consciously reduced my meat intake and increased my fish intake.
Is there a difference in the way you feel, or can you not clearly see?
I think from the meat, yes, definitely. But I feel like because I've been off meat more or less for 4 or 5 months now, and I still have meat here and there, but it's just not as regularly. I can feel a subtle difference, but because I still eat fish, I guess I'm not gonna feel the optimal benefits of being a vegan. So again, as we said, it's taking steps in that direction. But in regards to health versus taste factor, I would like to say a majority of the time is 80-20. Like, you have the 80-20 factor of
so 80 health, 20 taste.
Yeah. So I'll try and eat more healthy in regards to the actual taste.
I kind of got back to you like a politician because you didn't get a clear definition from me.
No, I know. You were mad. You didn't answer no question. It's almost like you answered no question. That's not me.
But guess what? I've done so well because you just moved on. You didn't even question it.
You know, I was a nothing, man.
Oh gosh.
I was gonna get back to it, but because you've asked me, that's why I'm answering it for you. So I was going to push it back to you and say, in regards to health versus taste.
I'm running from here.
Yeah, there's a nut in there, boy.
Yeah, you went in your own tandem.
Right, please continue, French. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's how I would moderate it on an 80-20. But saying that, my 80-20 can vary on day to day, such as today, as you can see.
Just for the record, guys, in the studio, let me point this out. The guys turned up. I got to the studio first. The guys turned up. I had strawberries. Fair dues. I had mini eggs.
And
that's only because Papa likes
biscuits.
Them. Where are they right now? Starburst.
And biscuits. And biscuits.
That's because you like biscuits. You've told me you like those.
Stop
and I had 3 bottles of water and a drop of alcohol to celebrate the week's end. That's it. These guys have come in like they've shopped at one of your well-known bakeries. They've literally bought all the cakes on the sun. I haven't touched one of them. Anyway. Potts, back to you answering that your question.
Potts
needs to answer the question.
Wait, why does this guy sound so sophisticated and well spoken?
It's the Hennessy.
Alright, cool. So going back to that, your original question, health versus taste.
Health versus taste.
How do you moderate?
70-30. I'll give you some numbers. If it ticks your boxes.
Yeah, it does tick my box. Go on, Pete.
Honestly, it depends what time of the week it is. But honestly, it does. If it's early in the week,
time of the week, time of the month, maybe.
Not time of the month, but honestly, it depends where we are in the week. I mean, I like to start the week off well. So I mean,
what does that mean?
No, like I said, it's a Friday. You brought some Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? So I might look to be a bit more in celebration.
Indulgent. Indulgent on the weekend.
But honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is what can I eat that's a bit more healthy? Truth be told, in your local stores, whether it's I don't care, Tesco, Co-op. More often than not, I think if you're buying a meal deal or what have you, I don't really think and honestly, I don't think you find anything that's really healthy in there. If you're buying a sandwich, stuffed with cheese and all that type of stuff.
Stuff in there. There's bags of spinach, there's bags of kale.
No, I'm not talking about taking home to cook.
No, he's talking
about buying a meal deal. There's
salad pots. Don't lie to me.
What's this guy talking about? Who's this guy?
Is there not salad pots to have for lunch? Yes or no? Hello.
Hey, hold on. Are you asking the questions?
If you've said something I don't agree with, I'm going to raise the point.
Alright, cool, no problems. Alright, can I respond?
Yeah.
Yes, there are salad pots, but I'm talking about for your everyday Tesco consumer, Sainsbury's consumer.
Stop mentioning these well-known brands because they're getting free promotion. Just say a well-known supermarket.
Well-known supermarket. That's not a problem.
Do you have shares in them?
No, I don't.
Okay, well stop it.
Alright, cool. Alright, so when I'm actually going to buy my meal deal, when I'm going to buy my meal deal, alright, I do make a conscious decision. Am I going to go healthy or am I going to go a bit more balanced, dare I say? I'm a lover of cheese, so sometimes I may indulge a bit more in the cheese and get me
a ploughman's.
Huh?
Get your ploughman's.
There you go. Alright, get me a ploughman sandwich. Or I may make a decision in terms of, let me think what healthy sandwich I've had recently. Can't really say it's healthy, but I mean...
None.
No, but normally there's a falafel sandwich or falafel wrap and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's necessarily healthy because there might be some sweet stuff involved in that. But I try to go for the vegetarian or more healthier option, if that makes any sense. And I might have me, this been selling and adding smoothies to some of these meal deals of late as well.
Yeah, but do you read what's in the
I know. I do believe there's some sweetening content in there, but alright, it's a more healthy option. But answering the question, because I'll allow you to chime in just a moment. I do think more healthy rather than, dare I say, a more balanced.
What's wrong with your fingers?
A more balanced lifestyle, dare I say, in terms of maybe having something that's a bit more unhealthy.
Balance.
But it does depend. Maybe what I have in my pocket. I might have £5-10 in my pocket. If I have more money in my pocket, then I might go a bit more healthy.
Balling.
Or but if I haven't got much money in my pocket, it might be, you know what, M&M's, or it might be something else.
Mace, was you going to interject?
It was just on the smoothie thing. About Poker, he kind of saved himself, so to speak, because I know later in the book we're going to speak about it. But one of the things that they mentioned in the book, which we'll probably come on to, is when you kind of blend and mix a smoothie, you're losing a lot of kind of the natural fibre.
It's when you juice.
I was going to say the same thing because you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, juice will blend.
No,
it's not the same thing. When you juice,
I stand corrected.
It's the difference. If you
but with them smoothies, there's a lot of pure. If you notice, it's a lot of like there's like it'll be like puree and it's not.
It's not the actual fruit itself.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
So I'm not going to disagree on that fact.
Yeah, no, but if you actually blend your own smoothies, then you're going to get the pulp, and that's where you're going to still get the nutrients in it. Okay. But what you're referring to, I know exactly what you're talking about, is when you juice. Yeah, juice. When you're getting a juice, you're losing most of the nutrients. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially the fibre content.
Pete, just going back to what you were talking about and trying to choose like the most healthiest option. Have you considered actually using the traffic light system to quickly identify your healthiest foods?
I've read that traffic light system. That sounds so primary school.
So baby.
Yeah, so baby. Yeah, so when I mean,
it means stop and wait. Amber means to have a look around.
So I try not to
traffic light your meals.
Yeah, I try not to traffic light my meals. I think, I think by and large, I think we all kind of know what is healthy and what's unhealthy. If that makes any sense. But I mean, I've taken into consideration the traffic light system and.
What about the daily dozen?
Daily dozen. I took a little note on that. Daily dozen.
That's to do with like getting your dozen fruit.
We'll go into that because I was just asking in regards to the last question, but we'll definitely go into
what the daily dozen entails.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on slightly, one of the questions that I think we may have even touched on with our guest Laura briefly was, isn't it expensive to eat healthy? Now on page 293. They found that in terms of nutritional value for money, people should buy more nuts, soya foods, beans and whole grains and eat less meat and dairy. They concluded the purchase of plant-based foods may offer the best investment for dietary health. Now, would you be willing to pay a higher premium for plant-based food knowing the health benefits? And that goes to either one of you.
That's a... Oh, God. I'm gonna say yes. No. So the reason why I side there is because it really irritates me the fact that you've actually got to pay a healthier more of a premium obviously for healthy foods, and it just sounds so government-like, if that makes any sense. And then at the same time, actually, crossed my mind. I've been feeling really gassy recently, and and it probably I've been having a lot of soya mints recently.
Man, you better step out the room if you're gonna fart.
That's not gonna happen today. So you're cool with that. Don't worry. You're alright on that. So so I've been having a lot of soya mints recently. So that will explain that.
We're going to touch on soya.
Actually. Yeah, so that will explain that anyway. But that just come to mind. But sorry, your question was, would I be happy paying a higher premium? Yeah, I would, because I think that's what I want now. I want to be a bit more healthier.
French, do you think the majority of people, if they were aware of this book and just a bit more aware of kind of plant-based foods, healthier eating, what the possible highlights of those things are, do you think they'll be happy to pay to pay a higher price for those things? Because just in relation to your question, I think it comes down to education, finances, but also Laura hit the nail on the head, and something that came up. People start eating healthier. What happens to the agricultural industry in this country?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of answered the question for me in regards to the finance, depending on the individual person's finance and whether they actually care about being healthy. Because at the same time, you've got to be aware that in certain circumstances, ignorance is bliss. Like, someone may not want to know that chicken has this amount of cancer traits, or do you know what I mean? It can cause this lung. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They would rather not know and just continue to eat that because it tastes good. Yeah.
So this may sound like sorry, I don't know if you were finished.
I wasn't, but
I could go on. Finish, go on.
It's absolutely fine, Pete.
No, sorry.
Chime in, son.
Get
in there, son. Go on, boy.
There's something eking away.
Get it. I thought I was coming in right at the very end. Sorry. I thought I was running onto that ball. Anyway, sorry. Sorry. See the agricultural industry. I mean, doesn't dare I say plant-based foods
come into it? Yes. Sorry, I should be more specific. It's to do with the rearing of animals. I don't want to say
animal and processed foods.
Yeah, exactly. It's to do with more of that side. So yes, agriculture industry, you grow your broccoli, you grow your carrots and all the rest. Yes, I agree. Sorry, I should be more specific. Just carry on.
Is there another point that you wanted to make, Pete, before I move on?
No, there wasn't.
I think the Henny's touched him.
Touch you, Pete.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie.